Hallihallo Leute und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Genshin Impact. Und ja, Jadebelast 2.0 wird gebildet. Ich habe mal versucht, auf den Jadepalast draufzukommen. Hier in der Bildungsphase. Das funktioniert. Aber da oben gibt es nichts. Und man kann sich später dann sowieso auf den Jadepalast hochteleportieren. Warum ich das jetzt auch immer gemacht habe, es hat keinen Sinn ergeben. Da ist Baido schon.
Look! The jade chamber is floating into the sky! But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Byron! And hey! People Paimon doesn't know?
Wer ist ein Paiwan?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into two phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch. Wait, I know you. You're the one who fought against the Vatuian Osile, right? Oh, sure enough, your reputation precedes you. Pleased to meet you. I'm Beidou, captain of the Crux.
Beidou? Are you here to join the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Uninteressant.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler. I'm sure you've heard of them before. And this is... sorry, I'm not sure we've met.
Shenhe. I am their... friend.
Good to meet you. Well, from today on, I guess all of us are friends. Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed. To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plastrite required. Fortunately, it was approved for submission, despite being a little on the diminutive side. Wow! So it looks like the three of us are competitors now! Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help her win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. What do you think? Sounds great, but how does it change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yun. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Suling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Tschüss.
Okay, let's go.
Leider haben wir jetzt die Uninteressante dabei.
What question are you gonna ask Ningguang, Yunjin? I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her opinion. Ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it. The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
Okay, kein Gespräch. Gut, dann können wir teleportieren. Jo.
Hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past, for stage use.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon. Sorry, my brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yoon. Even folks who don't make it to the opera all that often. Like myself. So, you're here to ask about Wonder Cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade Chamber. The types of ore needed to make Wonder Cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need 2 kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium. If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions. It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier. It's all but unheard of on the market. I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff. Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the Divine Damsel of Devastation also takes place on that mountain. I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
Alright. Oh, ich will mal ganz kurz Lumines Artefakte überprüfen. Die hat aktuell 1090 ATK. Lumines soll ja noch länger in unserem Team bleiben. Um ehrlich zu sein, hätte ich für sie auch gerne Angriffswaffe, wie hier bei Kekwin. Das wäre noch eine Art, die Flöte, Angriffswaffe, die ist gut. Die ist gut. Das Problem ist, wir brauchen dafür... Nein, ich wollte jetzt eigentlich nur verstärken und gucken. Die braucht... Oh. Oh. Okay. Wir bilden die mal so weit wie möglich. Erstmal 500.000 Money kaufen. Ja, ich wusste, wir haben noch ein bisschen was rumgammeln. Das müsste es jetzt aber auch gewesen sein, ja. Drei und 1. Was? Ich kann keine herstellen? Von den kleinen? Nein, das wollte ich nicht. Aber ich kann die noch kaufen. Noch 1. Ich glaube, mir geht jetzt aber das Erz, also mir geht jetzt das Level-Ding aus, bevor wir die Waffe auf 70 haben. Ne, hat noch hingehauen. Alter, wir hätten sogar fast genug für Level 80. Boah. Gut, okay, sie hat weniger Damage bei Base-Angriff, aber dafür hat sie 34,1% ATK. Lumine ist jetzt bei 1200. Und das sind die Artefakte, sind glaube ich nicht so nice, oder? Mal kurz gucken. LB plus Angriff im Prozent, KT und kritisch, das ist ein sehr gutes Artefakt. Aber kann nur auf Level 12 gemacht werden. Haben wir noch ein besseres? Angriff KD. Ich hätte gern Angriff im Prozent. Aber ich glaube, ich level mal das da, um zu gucken. Ob wir da vielleicht Angriffprozent drauf kriegen. Aufladerate, Elektroschadensbonus, Angriff können wir belassen. Angriff in Prozent plus KD, das lassen wir auch. Okay, die anderen beiden kann ich weghauen. Ah, Aufladerate. Okay. Aber wir geben sie ja trotzdem. Damit wir den Buff hier kriegen. Dann können wir das auch damit leveln. Zack. Jetzt sind wir auf Stufe 11. Wir haben Angriff dazu gekriegt. So, hier haben wir eine Berserkerfeder mit Angriff Flat. KD 3.1, das ist nice. KD 2.3, ja, da könnten wir aber noch auf Prozent hoffen. Aber das ist eine 4-Sterne-Artefakt. Ja, das ist... Wir haben halt echt wenig Artefakte. So, hier haben wir auch eine Gladiatoruhr mit 20% Angriff LED. Wir tauschen die mit der da aus. Zack. Da. Wir machen das da jetzt auch rein. So, gehen wir mal auf 8. Zack. Verteidigung und Aufladerate. Okay, KD hat sich leider nicht erhöht. So, hier haben wir nochmal Berserker mit Animo-Schaden. Das ist ganz nice. Und Angriff Flat. Animo-Schaden werden wir wahrscheinlich... Doch, da haben wir noch Animo-Schaden, aber... Ja, das können wir aktuell nicht gebrauchen. Und hier haben wir einen kritisch. Okay, dann tun wir mal das Artefakt ein bisschen hochpushen. Bis wir wieder auf so 32% sind. Leider habe ich absolutes Pech, was KD angeht. Die hat gar keinen Bock zu steigen. Aber wir sind jetzt wieder bei 32%. Okay. So. 1400 Flat Angriff. 25% leider nur. Schade. Aber ist schon mal sehr viel besser. Dann haben wir jetzt uns ein bisschen um Lumine gekümmert. Ist ja auch wichtig. Und dann gehen wir hier hin. Nein.
I came to Mount Tianeng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by Adepti.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool. A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite.
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work! Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place!
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world. And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the divine damsel.
I think it's a great story. The ideal story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah!
Ich find's ja lustig, wie Lumina geguckt hat, während sie zugehört hat. War das nicht so, dass man die Scheiße so gefunden hat? Suche mit Hilfe des göttlichen Auges nach Sternsplitter. Ja, mache ich. Irgendwie habe ich da gerade was in Erinnerung. Was habe ich da in Erinnerung? Ha. Irgendwie habe ich hier einen Gegner in Erinnerung. Lumine, aus.
Village on our way here. Master Zhang said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Guess we're on our own here. Shenhe, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Shenhe.
Shenhe. You're alive. The rumors were true. So, all these years? I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. But I think you can find some information in the village. And this place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhe?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Okay, then let's see what we can find in this village.
What's this?
Zerrissene Aufzeichnungen. Der Arzt hat gesagt, du seist schwer krank. Mach dir keine Sorgen, ich werde alles geben, was ich habe, um dich zu retten. Mein Herz tut weh, wenn ich sehe, wie du immer erschöpfter wirst und deine Krankheit nicht mehr zu behandeln ist. Wie sehr wünschte ich, ich könnte den Schmerz für dich ertragen. Du hast gesagt, dass du in diesem Leben nichts bereust und dass du dir nur wünschst, dass ich mich gut um Shenhe kümmere. Aber wenn du nichts bereust, warum die Tränen? Ich weiß nicht, was ich in letzter Zeit getan habe. Obwohl ich noch atme, fühle ich mich komplett ausgelaugt. Ich habe alle alten Texte gelesen, die ich in die Finger bekommen konnte, um nach Wegen zu suchen, dich zu retten. Aber es ist völlig sinnlos. Endlich. Ich habe es gefunden. Es war Mingjun. Aber hatte das Buch, das dich retten... Er hatte das Buch, das dich retten konnte, versteckt gehalten. Ich nahm es und folgte den Anweisungen, um einen Gott zu beschwören und ein Opfer darzubringen. Der Gott erschien. Ich sagte ihm, dass ich bereit sei, mein Leben gegen deines zu tauschen. Er schwieg und zeigte nur auf unsere Tochter Shenhe. Der Gott sagte, ihr Schicksal sei es, den Fluch des Unheils zu tragen und dass sie dazu neige, denen, die ihr nahestehen, Schaden zuzufügen. Der Gott sagte auch, dass sie vielleicht sogar die Ursache für deinen Tod war. Da es nun einmal so war, dachte ich, ich sollte Ich habe sie in der Höhle zurückgelassen, die der Gott erwähnt hatte. 3 Tage sind vergangen und immer noch keine Nachricht. Das Warten macht mich unruhig. Ein unheilvolles Gefühl befällt mich. Es tut mir leid, meine Liebe, verzeih mir. Du auch, Shenhe, bitte verzeih mir, wie dumm ich war, wie blind. Ich möchte mich bei euch beiden entschuldigen. Persönlich.
So, Shenhe is the divine damsel? Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an adeptus, and she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have noticed it earlier. According to this text, the divine damsel from the opera was actually the daughter of the loving couple. And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own father. Oh. The truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that ghastly situation. She was forced into it. Oh. It looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his beloved opera.
Is this an answer from this world?
Gut, und damit danke ich euch fürs Zuschauen und ich hoffe, ihr schaltet auch in der nächsten Folge von Let's Play Genshin Impact wieder ein. Ciao!